Hey you! Yeah, you. Make sure you stick around until the very end of this video to see the incredible info we'll learn at the end. Itanheim is a coastal city with a population of just over 100,000 people in the south of Brazil. Situated just an hour and a half from the capital of Sao Paulo, Itanheim was a major tourist destination during the 1970s, but in recent years, permanent residency has seen an increase, with tourism becoming less prominent. Still, the most incredible part of Itanheim may not even be what is attached to the mainland, but a small island nearly 36 kilometers south of it. There, in the expanse of the southern Atlantic Ocean, lies an island named the Documenta Grande, or as it has come to be known, and also by how terribly I'm pretty sure I just botched that name up, Snake Island, a name it shares with an unrelated landmass in the Black Sea. Often when we think of areas with an abundant snake population, Australia comes to mind almost immediately. And while Australia does have over 60 species of poisonous snakes, the 110 acres that make up Snake Island may very well be more deadly than Australia's legendary group of beasts. From a distance, the island's beaches and jungle look like a pure paradise, but if you attempt to dock your boat at this idyllic island, you will immediately begin to realize that it is anything but a refuge. In fact, upon arriving at the island, visitors are greeted by a sign in Portuguese saying "Disembarque Proibido," which translates to "landing prohibited." This is because the island, despite being so beautiful and picturesque, is actually off bounds to humans. The one historical exception has been research teams who have landed on the island with special gear in order to study the ecosystem there. Immediately when people arrive on the island, multiple things are apparent. First of all, the climate is extremely warm, with winters reaching a low of just 66 degrees Fahrenheit or 19 degrees Celsius, and summers averaging at a sweltering 82 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius. Next is the island's name, Snake Island. It didn't get this name for nothing, and in fact, some of the first scientists to land on the island wrote reports detailing hundreds of thousands of snakes that covered nearly every inch of the ground. Nowadays, there are still tens of thousands of snakes on the island, and it's quite possible that scientists will never truly have an accurate concept of just how many snakes are actually on the island, given the dangers of spending long periods of time there. There have, however, been people who have tried to make their home there in the past. In the early 1900s, banana farmers saw the island as a potential source of land. They also quickly learned that the jungle habitat was home to an inconceivable number of snakes, and decided to clear the land. They decided to try and do that by torching acres of wildlife, and began to form plans to settle there for agricultural purposes. Their next step was to build a lighthouse and assign an operator to the island. Legend has it that the family that moved there to tend the lighthouse spent their time in constant fear of the thousands of snakes that called the island home. Finally, one evening, the snakes found their way in through windows and structural defects. Once inside, the entire family was bitten and died in the night. While parts of the tale are considered legend, the ruins of the lighthouse are still standing on the island to this day. Another source of debate is how the snakes, who can't swim, made it onto the island in the first place. Another popular legend in the area states that pirates buried treasure on the island, then transported the snakes there to protect it. Lending credence to the story is the fact that snakes have no natural predators on the island. The more likely scientific explanation posits that the island had been connected to Brazil's mainland until 11,000 years ago, when the water level suddenly rose, cutting off the island and stranding a few species of snakes. And funnily enough, with no predators, they simply took over. Regardless of how the snakes got there, be it pirates, science, or some kind of eldritch magic, which I have my money on personally, a very peculiar set of circumstances has made them even deadlier than nature intended them to be, which is very difficult to do if you know snakes. I'll tell you what makes these snakes so unique in just a moment, but first, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon right now. After you click the bell, comment notification squad below, and I'll reply to all of you saying thanks, cause I love ya. Among the many types of snakes on Ilha de Quamita Grande is the world's only population of golden lancehead vipers. As such, they are incredibly rare, and what little scientists know about them will keep you up at night. The golden lancehead is one of the most venomous snakes on the planet, but fortunately, their only habitat exists where humans are forbidden. What chemists have determined from samples of the venom is that the chances of surviving a bite without immediate medical attention are extremely low, as the venom causes kidney failure and bleeding in the brain. Even if the venom doesn't enter your bloodstream, it's so potent that it possesses the ability to melt human skin. That's just friggin' horrifying. Either way, thank you all for watching this video, everybody. Click on the next 2 videos on the list, and we hope to see you again next time.